to do provisioning. So
Hmm.
that will not work. Okay. So use LDAP application for all provisioning, deprovisioning operation.
Okay.
In case of delimited, provisioning is not possible at all. In case of database type application like track, you need to write some code, then only your provisioning will work. By default, it is not there. So we need to add code, then only your provisioning, deprovisioning work for JDBC application.
Okay. So, are you going to cover this, like how to write those codes?
Yeah, I can show you. Okay, so today we are starting the development part, right? So first thing is we need one IDE, Integrated Development Environment. Example, Eclipse. There are multiple IDE like Eclipse, IntelliJ, NetBeans, right? IDEs basically help us to write code. That is the only purpose of IDE, right? So this is a SailPoint environment we have configured, but we need IDE before writing the code. I'll just download this IDE. Check this. Okay, this is Eclipse software. I'll paste this here. Now, same time, what I'll do, all this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 files, I will move into one single folder. Now it's looking more clean. Okay. So copy that Eclipse software here. It's a zip file. So extract this. You can use any ID or you can use Notepad also to write code. I'll be using this Eclipse ID because this is most widely used system. It's crashed actually. Let me use 7-zip to extract this. Extract. This is the Eclipse folder. This is the Eclipse application icon. Open this. By default, it will take your Java environment from your operating system, from your Windows. Okay, and this path. So what I'm going to do, it's workspace, basically where it will save the projects. Now, new dynamic web project. Why dynamic web project? Web project is basically web application because SailPoint is also a web application, right? So we are using this web application type. Now it's saying that dynamic web model required 3.0, Java 1.6 or newer. So this Eclipse version is quite older version, right? So here it is configured with the previous Java version. What you need to do, click on modify and change this Java to the latest one, whatever latest you have. Next and finish. If you're using the newer version of Eclipse, you will not face this issue. So this is the blank dummy project created here. Here you see this src folder where we write the Java new class file and Java class file. Let's say test first program. Java first thing what we do is we write a main method, public static void main. Inside this we can write simple message. Let's say hello. Save this. I will use this Control Shift A, sorry, Control Shift F, Control Shift F for formatting. So it will set up this format. Okay. Now, in order to run, I click on this button, run as a Java application. So output is coming in. Right? So directly Java coding you can do, but directly SailPoint coding we cannot do. Why? SailPoint is based on the Java. Like Salesforce is also based on the Java. Tableau, uh, so many different product technology, right? They are based on the Java libraries, right? So they are using Java, right? But in order to use those library, those coding here, we need to refer the libraries. For example, we are writing code for SailPoint, so we need SailPoint library. So for that, what we need to do? SailPoint library is here. Is that Tomcat, Web Apps, IDIQ, WebNF, lib libraries, identity IQ. This is the one. Copy this. Here you will see the same structure, web content, WebNF, lib, paste library. Java library is already there. Additionally, SailPoint library we are adding it. Now we can write code for SailPoint, right? So generally, when we start coding with the programming language, we start with basically write a simple hello world program, then write if else condition, then loop, right? Slowly we increase the level. Same thing I'm going to do here. I'm going to use I'll show you step by step coding here. Right? Like in order to get any data from SailPoint, let me start the server. So all the data is stored in the SailPoint database, right? Now there are different way we can access the data, right? We can go to SailPoint browser and we can log in, and from the UI we can access the identity application. We can go to debug page, right? But the data is coming from the database, right? So same here when we are writing code, APIs, right? Application programming interface, basically. Using that API, we are fetching the data. So the data we are fetching from the database. We don't need to create connection with the database. We don't need to write SQL queries here. SailPoint provide API. With the help of API, we have to use, 1 second. With the help of API, we have to see how can we fetch the data. So SailPoint know that, okay, we have to fetch data, right? So we'll be creating a database connection, right? So SailPoint already created one database connection for us. We can directly use that database connection, right? So the database connection object is called SailPoint context. It's a global variable which hold the database connection of your SailPoint environment. And this connection provides a lot of API through which we can access the data. Example, I want to search an identity. If I have to search identity, I'll go to identity warehouse and I'll open the identity. Same way, if I have to search the identity from the debug, I go to debug. First, I'll define the category. What type of object I'm searching, then I can search that. Aaron Nicholas example. Same concept apply here. Context provide method. Context dot get object by name. There are two parameters here. Class, type, what type of object you are searching, comma, string, the object name. We are searching identity. So select here identity. Identity which belongs to SailPoint library dot class. Identity type object. What is the name of object? Aaron Nicholas. Okay. This context dot get object by name. So from the database, we are saying we need object by name. Which type of object? Identity. Which object? Aaron Nicholas. We are loading identity. So SailPoint will give us identity object. ID like this. Okay. Now this is the identity object. Example, when you open the identity object here, what do you see? All the information with that identity, attribute, entitlement, application, policy, etc. When you open identity here, you see the raw information here, attribute, entitlement, application. Same thing here. From this int object also, we can do same thing. First, I'll show you attribute id dot get name. So these are the predefined method here. When you type dot is the operator in the Java, you will see all the available methods for this type of object, which we can directly use. So get name. Same way, what we can do, D, we can write other thing also. We can get other information from this. id dot get name, id dot get first name, get last name, get created when this was created, get modified, manager of this identity, id dot get manager, whether this int is manager on other identities. So get manager status. What else? Get whether this int is is this disabled or not. So is inactive. id dot application account you want to see all application, right? So application accounts are called links. id dot get links. This will give you a list of links. What else? Password id dot get password. Yep, I think this should be enough. id dot get id. Every object in Java, or sorry, in the SailPoint has id, right? Is correlated whether this id is coming from trusted source or not. So this code, right? Now, if you execute this code in the Eclipse, it will not work. Eclipse don't have access to load the data from your SailPoint database, right? So this code we cannot execute inside the Eclipse. So we have to execute this code inside the SailPoint only. Now, how can we execute the code in SailPoint? So for that, what we need to do, we need to create a rule. Rule is a basically type of object through which we can execute the Java code. Here, there are some example rules. Example, I copy this. I'll create a new rule. I'll remove all this code from here. This script. And I'll remove this modified. I'll only use this. Rule equals to language bean shell and any name. Let's say test1. Okay. Inside the source, we have to write Java code. So this is a Java code, right? Copy this complete Java code, and first thing is, yeah, can put this. We don't need this public static bracket, this one, and this two bracket. Okay. So you can remove this. Okay. SailPoint context, it's already available in every object in SailPoint. It's hidden. We don't need this. So remove this. We are using the SailPoint context here because if we don't do this, if I delete this, see what will happen. Eclipse will give you error that, okay, what is context? I don't know. So just for Eclipse purpose, we are writing this object. In SailPoint, we don't need this. Okay, save this. So your rule is saved. Test1. It's created, ID, all information will automatically come. Now copy this name. Search here. Click on this and select on run rule. What will happen? Whatever code you have mentioned inside the rule, that will execute. Right now it's giving null pointer exception. Why? The int name is not matching. Let me update the int name. Okay. Save this. Now run this. Now rule executed. If you are returning anything from the rule, it will come in this screen. Or error coming, so that will come in the screen. Otherwise, nothing will be displayed here. So whatever code we have executed, what we are doing, we are printing. We are loading the identity, and from the int object, we are getting this information, and we are printing system.out.println. So all this statement we will see here on the console. Name Edward Baker, first name Edward, last name Baker, created, creation date. 1 second, give me 1 minute, guys. application date, modified. After that, get manager. Manager of this user is another identity, William Murray. Get manager status, whether this identity is manager on another identity, false. Inactive, false. Get links, accounts. One account, track. Second account, tab. Third account, HRMS. Get password, null. ID, ID in SailPoint. This is ID. Is correlated true. So we can get all this information. Any doubt, question here? Anyone on this part?
Rahul, is there any way wherein we can get the output instead of creating a rule? We can get in Eclipse itself.
Where we can get, where you want output?
In Eclipse,
Eclipse, no.
there's no way.
Can we get that an SailPoint in run rule itself, Rahul?
SailPoint, what?
Run when you're executing run rule, right, where it's displaying this empty screen. Can we get that same page result?
Here you on this screen you are saying, right?
Yeah, it's run rule. Yeah, yeah.
In this screen you can get the result, but the only thing is you can only get one particular object here, right? Let's say what we are doing here. We are loading the ID and we are printing 10 different lines, right? You cannot return 10 different lines from this. Anything you want to return, what you need to do? Let's say you just want to return the name of this, identity object. So return id dot get name. So like we are printing here, right? It will return id dot get name of this user on your screen. Save this, run this. This is the output. So one single line return statement we can use, not multiple. You want to return the complete object, return this ID. It will print, it will show you the complete XML of this user. Like we are accessing from the debug, right? Complete XML it will give you.
Got it. Got it.
Because return can be one single statement, not multiple.
Can we get the output in logs as well? Is it possible?
Yes.
Because
Yes.
in case if we are using services instead of startup.bar.
Correct, correct. We can do this. What you need to do, this is a code, right? Copy this. SOP replaced with log.error. Replace all. Now we are doing log.error. Save this, run this. You see, error statement is coming here, right? And same time, go to your advanced analytics, syslog, which is a default logger, right? Run search. You will see those entries here one by one. If you see this, right? This printing, this modified date, manager is correlated, those kind of information here, true, false, right? One by one. Example. Okay, you are not able to see this. In case if you are not able to see this, but you want to see this message, the simple solution is go to debug, search for sys log event. Here is sort by created. You will see the same data here. Full name, first name, last name, created, modified, manager, right? You can click here and you can get this information, links.
Other than this, can we get in the path wherein we have set in log4j?
Yes, in case of that also it's possible. For that, what you need to do, go to your Apache Tomcat. Yeah, first thing is check whether the logs are coming here. Click on the log file. Nothing is coming here. Okay. So go to Apache Tomcat, Web Apps, ITIQ, WebInif, classes, log4j file, right? We have configured this file last time. It's not configured. I think I made some changes here. That's fine. Here's that file. Logs.txt, right? Update this here. And there's one more line, right? Which is, I guess, here. Yeah. Right. After this, whatever changes we are making, right? We need to load in the JVM. For that, what we'll do, we'll go to logging. We'll click on this button. Either we have to restart the server or we can reload this log4j, right? Let's execute the code again and see if something is coming inside your log file. Refresh. Nothing is coming, right? Why is not coming? You see the log4j file. Root logger, where it's going standard out. Standard out is your Tomcat. Change is to file. Save this. Go to your SailPoint. Again, reload this. Go to your rule. Run the rule. Now it will, print all this message basically inside your log4j file. Where is that? Here it is, right? Why it's not taking 1 second? Over this file. Okay. 1 second. Let's try this approach. Okay, let's do one thing. We have multiple type of logger, right? Let me try. Maybe others are enabled, not error one. So what I'm going to do, this one. Log.info trace one. Maybe error is not enabled. Let's see. Save this, run this code. And now let's see the file. Something is wrong. It's not loading. Do this again. Let's try one more time. Okay, something is wrong here. I will check and I'll update you on how we need to set up this log project.
Okay.
So yeah, now coming back, we are able to load a single object identity. Can we load different type of object? So when I'm saying object, and if you see the name is get object, so we can load any type of object. Read one more Java here. Has to copy this part. Now, instead of identity, can we load other object? Yes, application. Now we are loading application, so we have to store the object in app object. Now, which application? Let's say HRMS. Now, application cannot give us first name, last name, right? Application don't have first name, last, correct? And in order to update this library reference import statement, I press Control Shift O. In case in your Java, in your Eclipse, there are multiple reference belong to same name. In that case, it will give you option to select. Always select SailPoint object dot application. Now from the app, what we can get? App dot get name owner. Now identity don't have owners, right? Identity have managers. But in the application, we have owner. App dot get name. App dot get owner. It will return identity object. App is authoritative, whether this application is authoritative or not. Identity attribute of this application. App dot get native. Sorry, identity. I need to check what is the API for that, but we can definitely, 1 second, let's see. Okay, I need to check that. Get connector. App dot get created. App dot get. I can search for more object here. Let's say get what? Get aggregation type. Get creation rule. If you're using any rule for this, right? Now same way, copy this code, go back to same rule, update this, remove this, publish static void main, context null, and last two bracket. Save this, run this rule. See the output. Application name HRMS. Owner of this application SP admin is authoritative true. Connector SailPoint connector dot delimit file connector. Created this aggregation type account. What is the last one? Creation rule null. We have not defined any rule, so it's null. So same way we can get all this attribute information here. Any question, any doubt here, anyone?
No, Rahul.
Can we update some information here? Yes. Example, owner of this application, I want to update. I want to set some information here. Let's say app. Instead of get, now we'll do set. Set owner. Owner is what? Identity object, right? We cannot pass this, let's say SP admin. No, it will not work. This is a string value, right? So we need to load an object. Example, this one. Load an object, let's say any user. Let's say this Edward Baker. Now this is the ID object. Save this ID object here. Pass this ID. Now we have to save object, right? we are setting this value, and after that we have to save the object in the database. So for that, we use the 3 line context dot start transaction, context dot save object, application object, context dot commit transition. That's it. Okay, so let's use this code, copy this, create this here. Okay, what we are doing, we are loading the application, we are printing this information, we are loading a user. This user object we are setting owner on this application and saving into database. Execute this code. Now open the HRMS application. You see owner is Edward Baker. Right. Let's say this IND object information you want to change. Right. So let's say this ID. Last time we want to update ID dot set last name. ABC. What else? The extended attribute which we define. So how can we set extended attribute? It's location. ID dot set location. You will not see any attribute location, department, etc. For all the extended attribute we have defined, for that we have to use this generic method set attribute, name and the value. Which attribute? Let's say location, value. Here you have to check the exact location attribute. Global setting, identity mapping, location. Copy this exact. It could be user location, anything, right? So you have to use as it is. Now we are updating the ID object, so we have to save this ID object like this. So I'm updating the last name and the location. Copy this code. Go here in your SailPoint rule. Update the import statement. Save this. Run the code. Code executed. Refresh this. Last name Baker. Location Brazil. Last name ABC. Location ABCD. Anything you can update. So just try with the small piece of code. How you load ID object, application object. Generally, we work on the ID and the application object, but you can try with other object also. Any question here? Anyone? Any doubt?
No, Rahul.
Rahul, we are updating these values in database, right? So will it get saved in the in case of delimited file? It won't
No,
get.
we cannot update the target, whatever we are accessing from the SailPoint database. So anything we want to update in the SailPoint database, we can update. The target accounts like CSV file, LDAP, using this API, we cannot update. For that, we have a separate mechanism.
Okay.
Here we are accessing SailPoint database. For example, when you open this identity here or from the debug, whatever information you can change from here or from the debug, same you can do from your API.
Okay, got it.
So Rahul, how to set the extended attribute value changed and named attribute value changed through API?
Same for both, same. Set attribute, give the name, what name you have defined inside your identity mapping here. That's it. Whether it's normal one, whether it's named, whether it's searchable, it doesn't matter. Use this attribute, use set attribute here.
Okay.
Okay. Any doubt, any question here, anyone? From the context, I'm loading a single object. Can I load multiple objects? Yes. Context dot get objects. Which type of object? Let's say I want to load all the identity. Since we are loading multiple objects, so it will give us list of object, list, user, list, anything. It's a variable name, right? It can be anything. Java.util.list. Context.get objects, it will give a list. This is a list. From this list, what you can do? You can print the size. This size means element, total element. Basically, element is just a technical term of list, but number of users. So for that, list.size. If you want to print the list complete object, print this list as it is. Copy these 3 lines of code to your rule. Update this part. Update the library reference. Save this, run this code, and see the output. User list size 194. After start, these are the total users. Same way if you want to do for application. Copy this code. Create the import statement. Save this, run this code. This time it will show you apps list size 4. First application finance, second track like this. Okay, so context.get objects. This is a method we have to use when we have to load multiple objects. Any question, doubt, anyone?
No, Rahul.
All
Rahul,
good?
I have a question to the previous set identity object. So you're making a changes, for example, for location, you're making some changes and it get reflected in database. So
Correct.
if you run some aggregation job, so that data will be taken from file itself, right? Delimited
Yeah, it
file.
will be up, it will override. If you run the
Alright.
aggregation, it will override.
Okay, so is there any way wherein we can fix this?
No. So see, This is just an example to show you update the data, but when you run the aggregation, that will override this data. We cannot stop that.
Mhm. Okay. You said, right, there is some other process for delimited you're going to show.
That is provisioning. So when you are talking about the updating target system, so that is provisioning, right?
Mhm. Okay.
So for that, we have to build a provisioning plan first.
Mhm. Got it.
We have to generate that provisioning data. With the provisioning data, we can update the target systems. As of now, we are working on the SailPoint database. So this context object is basically connected to the SailPoint database. So whatever is stored in the SailPoint database, you can update. But whatever is there on the target system, for that we have a separate mechanism.
Got it.
All right. Any doubt question here, anyone?
Also, if anything is changing in here, like whenever you are modifying any objects, then it will automatically updating in the Excel file also.
No, this is what Ranu asked, right? It will never update in the Excel file. Why it will update? Excel file is your target system, right? So SailPoint will not update this target system. What data I'm loading here from the context from the SailPoint database. So Excel file is separately from your SailPoint database. So nothing will be updated in your SailPoint in your Excel file.
Okay. So, like in the initially when you just all the identities when you uh, just came to SailPoint Identity IQ from Excel, I'm talking about that file where you just
Yeah, the HRMS file, right?
yeah that
Yeah,
HRMS.
we cannot update. We cannot. That
Okay.
HRMS Excel file, right? The trusted source system, right? The CSV file, that is a separate file, right? That is not, that doesn't come under SailPoint database. So we cannot update that.
Okay.
Let's say if I simply go here, this is the VM data, this is the file, right? HR data, right? If I simply delete this from here, will I lose my INTs from here? Yes or no?
No.
No? Why? If I delete the CSV file from my laptop, what will happen? I will lose this identity or not?
I think it is already uploaded in SailPoint IQ. So if I
Correct.
now
So this identity is stored in the SailPoint database.
Mhm.
So using the API, we are loading these objects and updating back to SailPoint database. So when we are using this API, the Excel file is totally separated. The context is loading the data from the database, not from the Excel file. So we cannot get the data from the Excel file and we cannot update the data in the Excel file using the SailPoint APIs. SailPoint API will only update data which is present in the SailPoint database.
okay. And this software which you are showing Eclipse, can I find this software in that folder which you shared?
Sorry,
Or
can you say it again? Your voice is low.
I am telling that the software you are just using now, Eclipse. So, do you need to download this software, or we can get this
There in
inside that
the
folder?
it's already there in that Google Drive. From the Google Drive, you can download.
Okay, okay.
So Rahul, so one out of the box question. So you're running the role, and in the role you are directly using context, right?
Correct.
CONTEXT. So where is
Correct.
this defined in web application in SailPoint?
Where this is defined.
Yeah, as a context. Yeah.
So
Go
there
to
are
run.
two.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there are two objects which is there in all objects where we can execute the code. So whenever you write code, we execute the code basically inside the script rule. Inside the script. So the source one, right? Source. So within the source, there are two hidden objects, log and context, which is available. In other rule you can see, for example, let me show you some rule. See this log object, context object. These two objects are always available whenever you write code anywhere in SailPoint in any file. Both are hidden.
Okay. Okay. It's like a global object actually, but I think
Yeah,
somewhere
this
these,
context is a global variable which point to your
yeah,
database. So using this, you can access anything.
okay.
Okay, all right. Any question here, anyone? Okay. Next is we are loading all the objects here, right? Can we add filters? Example, if I go to my syslog, oh sorry, this advanced analytics. If I simply go this one, identity, run search, it give me all the identities. Can I add some criteria here that okay, I want all identity which belongs to Brazil location. So now it will give me those users, right? Or multiple criteria also that is manager equal to true. That person should be manager. Now we have 4 users, right? So can we add this criteria using our API? Yes. How can we add? In order to add this criteria, we have to create filter equals to filter, but EQ equals property name and the value. Let's say location, some value ABC, whatever location. Right. So let's say location is Brazil. Okay. Now we need to create one query option. In this query option, we have to add this filter, query.add filter. Now this query object, we have to just pass here using comma. So basically what we are doing, adding filter, location equal to Brazil. This filter now we are creating query option. In the query option, we are adding this filter. This filter we are passing here, context.get objects, load all the objects, but with this criteria. Same time, you can add more loggers. This code, updating your rule. and repeat the import statement. Save this object. Open this test1. Run rule. See the output. Filter location equals to Brazil. User list 15. We have 15 users like this. You want to add more criteria? Add more filter. Let's give this filter name 1. Same way, create one more filter. Give this filter name 2. Let's say you need some other kind of filter. Let's say job title equal to, you don't have job title. We have 53 employees from America and Austin base 20. So region value. Location is Austin. Now what is the attribute of region? So that we need to check from the global setting. Region. Identity region. So use the region. This is the exact name. Okay. So we have filter 1. We have filter 2. We have to combine the filter, right? So we have to create filter 3. Filter 3 will be like this. Filter dot add filter 1, filter 2. Okay, give this filter 3 for final filter. And pass this final filter here in the query option. Copy this complete code. Go to your rule. Update this. Make sure to update the import statement. Save this. Run this code. See the output. Filter 1, location equals to Austin. Filter 2, user region equals to Americas. Final filter, location equals to Austin and user region equals to Americas. So based on that, now we are able to fetch 20 users. Any doubt, question here, anyone?
Rahul, just I want to understand one thing. If that my query is not working, how I know that where it is getting error, like how here?
If this filter is not working,
Yeah, I mean like your code is wrong or like we are not getting exact data. So how we'll get that logs?
so add loggers on line by line. So that is your logs, right? Let's say I'm printing this filter 1. Let's say if I write some wrong code here, let's say if I go back to my code here, let's say the syntax is not correct. Save this, run this code. Pass error line at number 1017. And if you see it's not printing any statement, that means before first statement it's going to print, before that also it failed. First statement here, before that it's failed. It's also giving you line number. So how do you have to check line number? Pass the line number 10. So count the line number 10, not from here. Count the line number 10 from here. Source 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. On this line. Okay. Simple way is add more loggers.
Okay.
Synthetical error you can check on the Eclipse, because anything if you write wrong in the Eclipse will highlight in the red that this is not a right syntax. After that also there are chances that your code will fail. So for that add loggers to understand.
Yeah, got it, Rahul.
Rahul, in the beginning there is something showing this null equal to, what is that in that code section?
Your voice is very low.
In the coding section, can you go in that page, please? Yeah, in that first column, that's like public state void main, then state point, cell point context equal to null. So what is this actually? Why you define this?
So the SailPoint context variable is a global variable which is accessible inside your SailPoint. So in the SailPoint objects, it's already there, right? But since this is not available, outside the SailPoint, and we are writing code outside the SailPoint in the Eclipse. So here, as a substitute, I am defining it. But because if I don't define it, right, Eclipse will say, okay, I don't know what is context. You see, it
Okay.
start giving red error here. Context cannot be resolved. I don't know what is context. So in order to give the impression of this variable, SailPoint context, temporary purpose I'm just creating here. That's why I'm not using this inside my rule. Because in the rule, this is the actual variables already there.
Okay.
I think it will be
So
somewhere
why
in
can't
the.
we directly write this code into that inside that? Why we need use this Eclipse?
Inside the SailPoint,
Yeah.
you can directly write code here. But in case if some syntax you are writing wrong, right, it will not highlight anything.
Okay. Yeah. Got it. Yeah.
That's right. It will not highlight like, okay, this line, this semicolon is missing. But if you do same thing here in the Eclipse, it will highlight
Okay.
there's
Got
something
it.
is wrong here. Eclipse we are using like every other developer use Eclipse, right? Just to get this feature, we can do formatting, we can do importing, right? Syntax error, etc. It's easy to identify.
Okay. Got it. Okay.
Some people prefer writing code on the notepad. Here,
In the notepad, can you get also that like if you miss anything, we get that red error?
there is a way. I'm not sure. I don't prefer notepad, so I'm not sure how to set up that. But I've seen some people, they use notepad also to write code.
Okay.
But Rahul, if I have zero knowledge on Java, this to write the Java code, is it always we can refer one Java code and we can write this same as replicate?
See,
Just to
if you have a
modify
zero
the.
knowledge, right, then it's going to be tough for you, right? The most of the code is basically repetitive code in SailPoint. But again, in order to understand that, it's not easy to understand the repetitive code also.
Okay, we have to learn basic of Java.
We have to learn. So I've sent you a few topics in the group. Okay. If not sent, I'll send it again. So those topic basically how you write simple plain Java programs, right? What you have studied in your college, right? The basic, basically. So that is required here, not advanced Java learning is required. But on that part, you should be comfortable.
Okay. But in case, how much Java code which we will return in the real time, and basically every day we have to work on Java code only.
No, every day you will not be working on the Java code, and most of the code is repetitive again. But see, again, there are chances where you have to write lot of code also, right? Let's say there's a complex process, some complex situation your customer is facing. For that, you need to write a solution. So you have to write a lot of Java for that. But generally, it's not a regular situation in SailPoint, because SailPoint itself says that you should avoid writing Java. You should use the out-of-the-box feature as much as possible.
Oh, okay.
Out of the box features means, Rahul, which is you are showing in the
The default features which are available by default.
Okay.
Out of the box terms we use in IAM domain refer to the default process, whatever we have default. Okay, all right, guys. That was the agenda for today. We'll continue from tomorrow.
Rahul, can you please share last 2 days videos, please?
Yeah, I'll share the link. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining today. We'll connect tomorrow. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.